If you are an anxious person, then this is the video for you. The nervous system comprises of the brain, spinal cord, and all the nerves that go throughout your body to basically regulate everything from hormone production to digestion to movement. And it branches off into two different activations, if you will. There is the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is what you call fight or flight or freeze, and it activates when there is a threat. So let's say that you see a lion, you need to do something about it to get to safety, and so you need to activate your muscles to run away. You need to activate your heart rate so that blood is pumped into your muscles. The body is just trying to survive, whereas the parasympathetic nervous system is rest and digest, and so it helps with digestion. It's when you're relaxing, so you're not really using your muscles too much. And the immune system thrives in this parasympathetic nervous system, and that is kind of making sure the body is nice and healthy, and it helps with repair and fighting against bacteria, viruses. The parasympathetic nervous system is basically a feeling that you're safe. You don't need to run away from something because you are in danger. But sometimes we tend to be in these negative mindsets that can trigger the activation of the sympathetic nervous system. Genes make proteins. When you're more in the parasympathetic nervous system, it favors the production of certain proteins that help with regeneration and making sure the body is being taken care of. But when you are in the sympathetic nervous system, the body favors the gene expression for protein production, more involved in running away, being on high alert, those that are kind of thriving in a high cortisol environment. So certain hormones, activation of the muscles. Our thoughts, when they are in a negative mindset, can sometimes trigger us to be in the sympathetic nervous system. And so if our thoughts get us to activate our sympathetic nervous system, and the sympathetic nervous system favors certain proteins that are involved in more kind of destructive environment, just because you need to like go, then that can cause more of disease, because you're not getting into the parasympathetic nervous system that can actually take care and regenerate the body, rest and be calm and feel safe. And so what I'm trying to say is we need to be more conscious of what gets us into the sympathetic nervous system, because if things that happen during our day gets us in our head and that triggers that stress response, if we're constantly like having those mini activations throughout the day, then at night we tend to just come home and sit on the couch to try to get that rest that our body just needs. It's actually not really restful, because you are like sitting at the TV trying to forget about it, but your body still needs to kind of process that and let go. The first step would be awareness. Sometimes because our body is still kind of used to that sympathetic nervous system activation, our cortisol can still be high at night, and then we can have problems with around sleep. So maybe getting to sleep, or problems with waking up frequently. I guess what I'm trying to say is there something that we can do to try to get our body to get to that parasympathetic state, so that we can handle each micro stressors with more awareness and grace and feel safer throughout the day in your body. The first step is actually awareness. And what I mean by awareness is taking like many moments throughout the day to check in with yourself and to see, is my body tensing up? Is my muscles activated? Do I need to be in this tensed up position? Is my posture okay? How am I breathing? Am I just, breathing very fast for no reason? Sometimes we can kind of pinpoint what caused the body to get into that sympathetic state, but sometimes we can't really pinpoint what got us to that state. That's not really important. The important part is to just be aware of what is going on in your body and if you are in an immediate danger. So right now I'm feeling a little bit clenched up in my legs, so I'm just gonna take a moment and just breathe. And just that awareness that I was tensing up and then doing something about it to just get me into that parasympathetic state. So my breath is what I go to the most. It's basically awareness and then trying to get to the parasympathetic activation. You'll see that it will need to be kind of practiced, and it takes some time to get predominantly from the parasympathetic activation to predominantly in the parasympathetic. That kind of training for your body to get to that point takes awareness, and you'll be kind of aware a little bit at first, and the more you are aware, the more you'll be aware, and the more your body will just automatically get to the parasympathetic nervous system. The more you'll be clear-minded, the better your gut will feel. You're going to be more peaceful and calm in your environment, and your emotions will be more regulated if you get more into that parasympathetic versus that high, like energy activated, I gotta get somewhere energy. And it's like with everything, like it will take time for your body to get more in the parasympathetic activation, but it is worth the journey to get there because you'll feel safer in your body. You basically won't feel anxious anymore. You're just gonna be like more in your body rather than consumed with everything. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Until next time.